Long before the rise of Christianity, the Roman Empire was ruled not by emperors, but by gods. Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and a host of other deities watched over every aspect of Roman life, from war and love to agriculture and the afterlife. These gods were more than just figures of worship, they were central to Roman identity, politics, and even conquest. But as the empire expanded, so did the influence of foreign religions, and the once mighty Roman Pantheon began to crumble. How did a civilization so deeply rooted in polytheism eventually abandon its gods? What led to the fall of a pantheon that had ruled for centuries? And what remnants of these ancient deities can we still see today? In this video, we'll explore the rise, dominance, and ultimate decline of the Roman gods, uncovering the fascinating story of how a pantheon that once ruled the ancient world was forgotten by history. From the grandeur of Jupiter's temples to the whispers of mystery cults, join us as we journey through the rise and fall of Rome's divine rulers. The Roman gods didn't just appear out of thin air. They were a complex blend of indigenous Italian deities and borrowed gods from the Greeks, Etruscans, and other neighboring cultures. Early Roman religion was deeply tied to the land, with gods like Mars, the god of war, and Ceres, the goddess of agriculture, playing vital roles in everyday life. But as Rome expanded its influence, it began to adopt gods from conquered peoples, often merging them with existing deities. For example, the Greek Zeus became Jupiter, the king of the Roman gods, while Aphrodite was transformed into Venus. This process of syncretism allowed Rome to integrate conquered cultures into its empire, creating a shared religious identity that helped unify diverse peoples. However, the Roman pantheon wasn't just about worship, it was also deeply political. Emperors like Augustus used religion to legitimize their rule, claiming divine favor and building temples to honor the gods. In this way, the gods became symbols of Roman power, their worship intertwined with the empire's political and military success. In ancient Rome, the gods were everywhere. They presided over every aspect of life, from birth and marriage to death and the afterlife. Temples dedicated to the gods dominated the Roman landscape, with grand structures like the Pantheon in Rome serving as both places of worship and symbols of imperial might. But the gods weren't just confined to temples, they were also central to Roman public life. Religious festivals, such as the Saturnalia and the Lupercalia, brought communities together in celebration, while augurs and priests interpreted the will of the gods through omens and sacrifices. The gods even played a role in warfare, with Roman generals offering sacrifices before battle and dedicating their victories to deities like Mars and Minerva. This close relationship between religion and society helped maintain social order and reinforce Roman identity. However, as the empire grew, so did the diversity of religious practices, setting the stage for the eventual decline of the traditional Roman pantheon. As the Roman Empire expanded, it came into contact with a wide array of foreign religions, many of which began to influence Roman spirituality. Mystery cults, such as those dedicated to the Egyptian goddess Isis and the Persian god Mithras, offered personal salvation and a deeper spiritual connection than the traditional Roman gods. These cults, with their exotic rituals and promises of an afterlife, began to attract followers from all walks of life, including slaves, soldiers, and even the elite. At the same time, Eastern philosophies like Stoicism and Epicureanism offered alternative ways of understanding the world, challenging the traditional Roman worldview. The arrival of Christianity, with its message of monotheism and eternal life, further disrupted the religious landscape. While the Roman authorities initially viewed these new religions with suspicion, they eventually became too powerful to ignore, leading to a gradual shift away from the traditional pantheon. By the 4th century CE, the Roman gods were no longer the dominant force they once were, as the empire began to embrace new spiritual paths. The decline of the Roman gods was not a sudden event but a gradual process that unfolded over centuries. One of the key turning points came in 313 CE, when Emperor Constantine issued the Edict of Milan, granting religious tolerance to Christians and ending the persecution of the new faith. This marked the beginning of Christianity's rise to prominence within the empire, as Constantine himself converted to the religion and began to promote it as a unifying force. By the late 4th century, Emperor Theodosius I had made Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire, outlawing pagan practices and ordering the destruction of temples dedicated to the old gods. The once great temples of Jupiter, Mars, and Venus were either abandoned or repurposed for Christian worship, and the traditional Roman pantheon faded into obscurity. However, the legacy of the Roman gods did not disappear entirely. Many of their names and attributes were absorbed into Christian saints and traditions, ensuring that they would continue to influence Western culture in subtle but significant ways. Though the Roman gods may have fallen from their divine thrones, their influence can still be felt today. Many of the planets in our solar system are named after Roman deities, such as Jupiter, Mars, and Venus, while the days of the week in Romance languages are derived from their names. The myths and stories of the Roman gods have also inspired countless works of art, literature, and film, from Renaissance paintings to modern fantasy novels. Even in the world of science, the legacy of the Roman gods lives on, with terms like martial, relating to Mars, and venereal, relating to Venus, still in use. While the Roman Pantheon may no longer be worshipped, its impact on Western culture is undeniable. The rise and fall of the Roman gods is a testament to the power of religion to shape societies, and to the inevitability of change, even for the most enduring of traditions. The story of the Roman gods is one of power, adaptation, and eventual decline. From their humble origins as local deities to their role as symbols of imperial might, the gods of Rome played a central role in shaping the identity of one of history's greatest empires. Yet, as the empire expanded and evolved, so too did its spiritual landscape, leading to the rise of new religions and the eventual fall of the traditional pantheon. While the Roman gods may no longer be worshipped, their legacy lives on in the language, culture, and traditions of the modern world. The rise and fall of the Roman gods is a reminder that even the most powerful of deities are not immune to the forces of change, and that the stories we tell about the divine can shape the course of history itself. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the rise and fall of the Roman gods. If you enjoyed this deep dive into ancient mythology, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations of history's most fascinating stories. Let us know in the comments which Roman god you find most intriguing and why. And if you're curious about other ancient pantheons, check out our videos on the Greek, Egyptian, and Norse gods. Until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of the past, and remember, the gods may change, but their stories live on. Subscribe for more epic tales of ancient gods and forgotten civilizations. Let's uncover history together.